All right, let's call the case. This is file number 23106SM. People versus Aaron Lewis Brown. And I've known Mr. Brown since he was in about 8th grade. The file number is 22. This means this happened in 2022. Joining us here, Mr. Brown, is Mr. Keith Stickley. He's the Chief Public Defender for St. Joseph County. I saw this morning when I got in and looked at the jail roster that you had been picked up last night. And your lawyer is Luke Knopfsinger. And he was here this morning, but apparently the right hand didn't know what the left hand was doing. They could have dealt with this morning, but they didn't. The matter is assigned to Judge Pattison. He's the one that issued the bench warrant for your arrest. And he is caught up in a difficult domestic relations trial. So he asked me to address this. So let's start at square one here. You were charged back in 2022 with a domestic assault on your mother, Anita Green. And that warrant was issued in 2022. You got arrested, you posted a bond. Attorney Knopfsinger was appointed to represent you. They had a pretrial, you continued your plea of not guilty, and they set a final pretrial before jury, which was set for January 19th of 2023. You failed to appear, and Judge Pattison issued a bench warrant for your arrest. And as I indicated, your lawyer, Luke, was here this morning, and even I dealt with him this morning. If I'd known about it, I could have, I guess, addressed it. Anyway, I knew this warrant was out there. Last year, I had downloaded every unserved domestic violence warrant, and there were a lot of them. Many of them have been either dismissed or finally served. I guess the question I want to ask right now is, how did you get arrested last night?
Okay. First of all, that wasn't my mother. That was her name is Anita Green, with those allegations that I allegedly struck her. My mother passed.
Is that your aunt?
She's my mother's twin sister, but my mother Lisa passed away.
All right. I went to your mother's funeral.
Yes, Lisa's my mother.
So, all right. I'm sorry. So this is your aunt Anita. All right, I got it backwards.
Unfortunately.
All right, so the complainant is your aunt. All right, so let's not get into the facts so much, but you didn't show up back in January of 23, and Judge Pattison issued the bench warrant. So he set the bond at $2,000 cash or surety. How did you get arrested last night?
So I was up in Trotter. I got date raped before I came back up to Michigan, and that's when all that happened at Anita's house. So I ended up going up to Trotter Ministry back in January. No, it was February 1st. So before that, I went to my court date, met with Luke in November of 2022. It was either right before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving. And when I talked to him, I said, "When is my next court date?" He said, "I don't have one for you." He's in his exact words that I do not have one for you, but I will be in contact with you at some point. I said, "Okay." I still have an address down in Florida, and I do travel quite a bit. And so do you have like a specific
the address they had listed is 34 aunt's house, correct?
Correct. That's not my address.
All right. Well, let's go back to my original question. How'd you get arrested last night?
Okay, so I got arrested Tuesday in Grand Rapids.
All right. You're missing art prize.
The what?
You're missing art prize.
With Art Prize.
Oh, it's that big art festival they have in Grand Rapids every other year.
I'm an artist. I would love to go to something like that, but since this is taking up my time with false
All right, well,
allegations,
I'm still trying to figure this out. So were you at Mel Trotter in Grand Rapids this week?
yes, I've been staying up at Mel Trotter trying to get out of Michigan for the last year and a half. And due to some manipulation and human trafficking and some other stuff, I went to go fill out a police report that has been basically some people back in when I was in high school. And so nothing has been done about that. There's been decapitated heads that were in me and my mom's houses. People cut these people's heads off. They put them in our houses, and we tried filling out a police report and stuff like that. Members of Palco, which is a fabrication company, they're like chopping up bodies and everything. It's all, I know the people who did it. So your question is, how did I get arrested? I go to One Monroe Center on Tuesday morning to fill out a police report, and they said I had a warrant for my arrest for missing a court date. Mind you, a week ago, no, 2 weeks ago, I had some officers come in, Deputy Cedric Wyrick and his sister Katie Wyrick, which I know very well. They came and talked to me about just doing some counseling and stuff because I was poisoned. I was telling them what was going on in my life and that I need my inheritance that my mother left me. So they flat out told me, you do not have any warrants because there was some stuff that happened in Florida and in RJ's that I got arrested for no reason. And so I was under the impression I had 2 warrants for false arrest. I can get into that if you would like me to after I get done with this. Just let me talk for just a second.
Aaron, I'm just trying to figure out what to do bond wise. Unfortunately, they didn't address this morning when your lawyer was here. So Mr. Stickley is the chief public defender. He doesn't know any of the details of the case. He's just to make sure that your rights are protected here at this hearing. So your residence is presently Mel Trotter Ministries.
I was staying up there so I can get back down to Florida, but my current address is down in Tampa, Florida. I came up here because I had to get my inheritance, and I'm looking for my money that my mother left me, which is probably $12 billion. And so
I know your mom. She wasn't that rich.
Wealthy. We don't like saying rich, but wealthy.
Okay, Aaron, are you getting any mental health treatment? Are you seeing anybody at CMA at Kent County?
Yes, I went to go see not Azariah, Uriah. We had a counseling meeting 2 different times. I went and seen Godfrey up at Mount Charter Ministry 2 different times, and they passed me and said I was good to go.
Are you on any medication?
No, just water.
All right, well, we need to get this case back on track. Right now, you're living in a ministry shelter kind of place. Mel Trotter's been around for years and years.
Yeah.
Your address is Tampa. I'm gonna reset this, the final pretrial for next Thursday, which would be September.
Is she, because it was on video that she straight up said, I lied on this police report. So I don't know if they had it.
I don't know any of that stuff, Mr. Brown. I know your aunts, I know your brothers, I know your cousins, your grandma, your grandpa. But you're not in the greatest of shape right now. I'm gonna reset this for next Thursday at 1 o'clock. with Attorney Luke Knopfinger. And I'm gonna leave the bond as Judge Pattison said it. $2,000 cash or surety. Are you in contact with any of your family down here?
My grandmother, I have to take care of my grandmother. So I came back up here to take care of her and get her out of this disastrous living situation that she doesn't like and I don't either.
Well, then set it in front of me at 2 o'clock. Judge Pattison won't be here next week, and I don't want you to sit here for 2 weeks till we resolve this. I'll set it in front of me.
Go over to Keystone.
Well, Aaron, Mr. Brown, I'm not comfortable with you just being homeless out here in the county. I'm setting this as soon as I can, which is next Thursday. Oh, here's Luke right now.
Judge, I was in the.
Bless you.
I heard this, yeah, so I get the sense you want to set it for sometime next week.
Yes, go ahead. Aaron, your attorney, Mr. Knopfinger, just came in to join us. He heard this, he was in the building. And I'll set this as soon as he's available, although we have to consider the prosecutor too. Judge P is not available next week, Thursday, Friday. I don't remember what the deal is, but I can do it with Thursday final pretrials at 2.
Okay, and I can, if you take the case, I can make it work on Thursday, Friday. I also would have some time Wednesday morning too, so I could coordinate with Judge Pattison or.
Well, I don't know when Judge Pattison is leaving, but we also the prosecutor's gotta give victim notice and I see your aunt around. I think she still works at CMH.
I do not talk to that woman at all. I have nothing to say about her. I don't talk to her. I have said my piece. I haven't talked to her since I left there in handcuffs and didn't want to stay there in the first place because that house needs to be condemned. The city needs to take it from them, I think. But I don't talk to that woman. I do not like her. I don't like her husband. I don't like her son.
All right, well, I'll leave it at that. Boy, I'm not good Wednesday, Luke. So let's just leave it now for Thursday at 2. I'm gonna ask Lisa Iantelli, who's our mental health liaison, to meet with you, Aaron, see what the deal is and see if you need some further treatment or some medication or what. The prosecutor needs to get time to get a hold of your aunt and see what her position is on this. Maybe they just want the whole thing to be over with. But for now, I'm going to leave you right where you are. Come on in. Mr. Knopfinger is going to be available then, and I will see if I can get someone from mental health to talk with you.
Okay, I really just need my finances because I have my eyes on a $13.1 million house that my mother is trying to gift me with what she left me with my grandfather, my inheritance, my trust fund, and somehow it's nowhere to be found from after it was placed in Greenleaf. So that really upsets me.
Well, I imagine so. Where is this house?
Lake Tahoe, Tahoe City, California.
Well, okay. I don't think we have a house in St. Joe County that's worth $13.1 million. All right, Mr. Brown, I'm going to ask Lisa from mental health to come meet with you. And I would rather I didn't have this case since I know everybody, but I know everybody anyway, so I don't know what the difference is. So I'll be seeing you next week, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stickley.
Sure. Tell the family I said hi.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thanks, Judge.
I'm not sure if he has $12 billion, if he's eligible for court-appointed counsel, but we'll just.
Is it the limit? It's just below, I think.
We'll hope for the best. Thank you.